Saving for retirement is our topic today. How much is enough? We're going to be talking about the financial planning questions that everyone needs to ask in the run-up to retirement, plus innovations in the travel insurance market that should make it easier and cheaper for those travellers with medical conditions to go on holiday, and the growing business of longevity as businesses try to attract the spending power of older consumers. I'm Claer Barrett, editor of The Next Act, and joining me today are Jason Butler, the FT columnist and the author of Money Moments, Simple Steps to Financial Wellbeing, Oliver Ralph, the FT's insurance correspondent, and Lindsay Cook, the FT's money mentor columnist. So starting off with you, Jason Butler, you wrote a column for The Next Act last week, which broadly looks at the eternal question perplexing financial planners and their clients, which is how do you run out of life before you run out of money?
Yes, and hopefully make the cheque to the undertaker bounce, as one of my clients said, as the extra thing. Sorry if there's any undertakers out there. It is a problem, and I think there's a problem in the sense that getting your strategy right when you're building your retirement nest egg is one thing, but the investment strategy and the withdrawal strategy that goes with it, once you are ever, just getting to drawing off your money in retirement and post that, that is just as important. So there's no point in spending 20, 30 years building a nest egg and having it invested correctly if you then don't invest it after the event and your withdrawals are not sustainable.
One of the things that you might want to really spend a lot of money on retirement, of course, is travelling, going on that dream holiday abroad, perhaps a cruise, perhaps visiting parts of the world that you've always dreamed of going to. But if you're suffering from a long-term medical condition, then getting the right level of insurance cover to underwrite your trip could prove very expensive, as, Oliver, you have been reporting in the FT throughout this year.
Yes, there's been a growing concern about people with pre-existing medical conditions and what they're being asked to pay for their travel insurance, particularly people with cancer. Macmillan, the cancer group, they came up with some research that people are paying many hundreds or even thousands of pounds for a single trip insurance policy because there's a pre-existing medical condition. And it may be something that's actually relatively under control or relatively far in the past, but they still say they're paying thousands of pounds, and it's meaning that they're either not travelling at all or they're travelling without insurance, which has been a concern to the Financial Conduct Authority, which has looked into how they can change the situation.
In the UK, what more is the regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, doing to try and help those people who are finding it hard to get cover?
Well, the FCA has recognised that there's an issue with this and produced a report on it earlier this year. They've produced various solutions, but most of them revolve around signposting people towards specialists in the market. If they go onto a price comparison site, or if they get a quote from an insurance company and it's very high, or the mainstream insurance company doesn't want to provide a quote, the idea is that somehow, it's not clear how yet, but somehow people will be signposted towards specialists who might be able to produce a policy suitable to their needs.
We're going to speak to Lindsay Cook, who is the FT's money mentor. She writes lots of the articles for Next Act, and she's written a humdinger about the UK's growing longevity industry. So a huge summit was held in London last week, to which members of the longevity industry all attended. But what is it?
Believe it or not, there are already 10 million people in the UK who are expected to live until they're 100. And while everybody's been thinking, oh, what about care home costs and things like that, the opportunity of longevity is that if we can change the dynamic so that people can stay in their homes longer, if you can get companies to design and invent things and products and services that keep people in their homes, then you have people who they've got over 70s, have most of the money, they've got the money to spend and they can create jobs.
If you would like to read more about any of these topics, you can go to the FT's content hub for those in later life, ft.com/nextact, and read all of those pieces. We hope to be back with you next month. Thank you very much.